Hi, I'm Esther. I'm an author and a speaker. And in this video, I'm going to share the importance of 3 things you should never overlook as you get older and why you should pay attention to them. Your health, of course, but I'll break that subject down into a few imperative reasons besides just staying healthy. The second subject will be your participation in social activities and why they are so important, especially as we age. The third subject will be estate planning. Estate planning is not only for the rich. I'll share the reasons that you don't want to neglect this one. We will start with health. I like to call my reasons a positive catch-22 because investing in your body and your mind increases longevity. That's understandable. But having good health also increases your years of independence. The longer you stay healthy, the longer you can do things on your own without relying on somebody else. Family can't always be there for us. Don't put the responsibility of your health or your happiness, for that matter, on your family. Having a flexible routine of physical activity, one that's appropriate for your health conditions, promotes graceful aging. As little as 30 minutes of moderate exercise each day can boost your immune system and strengthen muscles and bones. Your activity doesn't have to be strenuous. You can try walking, yoga, swimming, dancing, or any other moderate activity that you enjoy. Why do I call it a positive catch-22? Because better health equals more chances of staying independent. Independence builds confidence. Confidence produces a sense of usefulness. That feeling of usefulness gives us a purpose in life. And that feeling promotes the desire to stay healthy, a full circle. When your physical health starts to decline, we begin to rely on others to help us. That lack of physical ability and the need for somebody to help us wears down our confidence. The less confidence we have, the more we withdraw from other activities. The less active you become, the more your mental ability begins to decline. That cycle becomes the negative catch-22, which leads us into number 2, social activities. Studies show people who are socially active live happier and longer lives. Too many people have not learned to cultivate their own friendships. They strictly rely on family to keep them socially active. I saw both my mother and my mother-in-law become very lonely in their older years. Both were widowed. Neither of them had a circle of friends. Their spouse and their family seemed to be their entire world. They were lost and lonely when family couldn't come to visit every day. So we have to remember though our families love us, they also have lives of their own, which usually includes a full work schedule and raising children, our grandchildren. Trying to make time in their busy schedule to keep us entertained can be burdensome for them. We want our time with our family to be fun and a loving experience, not something rushed through because they needed to make sure that you didn't get too lonesome. When I saw how lonely my mothers were, I vowed it I would never make my children feel like they needed to entertain me in my older years. It became high on my priority list to cultivate a circle of friends on my own. That doesn't mean that maybe someday the time will come when I need their assistance, but I want to delay that time as long as possible. So I encourage you, please don't rely on your family to entertain you. Spend as much time with them as possible, but don't turn visits into a burdensome task. If you're retired, Start searching for clubs or organizations that you can join or places where you can volunteer. You will meet others who have similar interests. Foster care programs, food banks, and missions are only a few of the organizations that would welcome your time. Think about the hobbies you've always wanted to try, but never had the time for them because the job got in the way. It was after I retired when I became an accomplished artist. I started teaching paint and sip classes. I began to sing in public, and I became an author and published my memoir. Statistics show that when your health begins to decline, we tend to withdraw from physical activities, and we gradually start withdrawing from our social circle as well. The less active you become, the more your mental ability begins to decline. If your physical condition begins to limit you from more strenuous activities, find moderately sedentary activities. Start or attend a game night that meets regularly, or work puzzles. Focus on sedentary hobbies. Now may be the perfect time for you to start writing a memoir for your family. Once we are gone, our stories die with us. So keep the stories alive by putting it on paper and passing it on to your children and your grandchildren. Doctors stress that having some form of daily routine is also psychologically beneficial. It keeps you moving forward, living life with a purpose. Now for number 3, estate planning. Many think that estate planning is not important unless you have a ton of money. I spent 26 years working as a legal assistant in a law firm. So often I heard couples say, "Oh, my kids will figure it out. It won't be a problem." That comment has proven to be wrong over and over again. I saw case after case where families were torn apart over the division of their parents' belongings. Yes, they argue about who gets the house or who gets the car, but it's not always about money and things. I've seen arguments of whether a parent should be on life support or not, or should they be buried or cremated. I urge you to speak to an attorney about the need of your financial situation. As much as a simple will to let the family know just what your desires are would be better than nothing. The division of property becomes even more complex when there are marriages that involve stepchildren. Some couples keep their finances strictly separate, and each family receives that parent's assets. But still, you need some sort of direction for those family members. Many couples have joint assets. Be aware, disputes can end up in court between his kids and her kids if there is no estate plan in order. Don't leave the responsibility to your kids to try to figure out what your desires are. Even if you don't care how things are divided, state your preferences. They can negotiate with one another after the fact. Be responsible and make your own decisions, and let those decisions be known on paper. So to recap, I want to encourage you. First, do everything you can to stay physically healthy. You'll feel better. You'll retain independence a lot longer. You'll have peace of mind, and you may eliminate the burden of your children having to care for you later in life. 2, stay socially active. Your mental capacity will benefit. You'll enjoy life much more, have fun with your friends. And if you volunteer, those organizations will benefit as well. And 3, take the burden off your children by having some form of estate planning in order. Don't put that responsibility on them. Attending to those 3 things will do wonders for you in your golden years. And your children will benefit as well. For more tips and encouragement for your retirement years, hit the subscribe button down below and follow along.